This is the video for Hands-on Equations Lesson 6. Basically today we're talking about the distributive property. And what the distributive property is basically just a way to use parentheses and write shorthand in a mathematical sentence. So I'm actually going to start on the back to figure out what is it that the distributive property is without our x's or our variables and go from there. So the first question I'm kind of going to give you as a reference is 2 parentheses 1 plus 3. So this is kind of a simple equation, and how I like to think about it is I pretend that the 1 and the 3, or whatever's in the parentheses, are in a cool hangout spot. And the 2 is going to visit them in their cool hangout spot, but it's not just going to talk to the 1. Oh no, it's friends with both the 1 and 3. So it is first going to talk to the number 1, and then it is going to talk to the number 3. So first I multiply 2 times 1, which is 2, plus 2 times 3, which is 6. I know, amazing. And this is basically because mathematicians are really lazy and don't want to write out 2 times 1 plus 2 times 3. This is way more space than this, so they just try to simplify it. So the 2 visits the 1 in the cool hangout spot, and the 2 visits the 3 in the cool hangout spot. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6. So now I have 2 plus 6, which would be 8. And if you studied the order of operations before, you may be asking me, like, Miss B, why can't I just add the 1 plus 3 before I multiply by the 2? Because wouldn't I get the same answer? And you are absolutely correct. 1 plus 3 is 4, and if I multiply 2 times 4, this is 8. But I don't want to do that because when I add a variable to my situation, it is not going to work out, because I can't always, if this is 1 as an x, for example, I can't always add the x plus 3 first. So I'm going to do another example of just the distributive property, and then we're going to add some variables. So let's do 3 times 10 plus 2. So first, I remember that my 10 plus 2 is in my house, and I could add 10 plus 2 times 3, but in this case it actually makes my math easier for me if I do the distributive property. So my 3 visits my 10, 3 times 10 is 30, plus my 3 times 2, 3 visits the 2, and that's 6. So 30 plus 6 is 36. That's all there really is to the distributive property. Now if I had 3 numbers in here, I could do the distributive property again and get a completely different answer. It's really just a mathematical way to write an equation using parentheses. So now that I've got that, let's work on something with variables. So I flip my hands-on equation sheet back over. I'm going to start by putting 2x, so 2 parentheses, x plus 3 is equal to x plus 8. So the thing about the distributive property is that I need to kind of distribute before I put my game pieces on. So I got to think in my head, okay, the 2 is visiting the x in the house, so that means I need 2x. Plus the 2 visits the 3, so 2 times 3 is 6. And that's really all there is to it. I now have set it up just like every other equation I've ever done. Then I have x plus 8. So now this is a completely very similar equation to what I have. So now I have 2x plus 6 is equal to the same thing, x plus 8. So now my first step in any hands-on equation is to combine like terms. My like terms are already combined. I didn't need to combine anything. My 2x's are already together. So my next step is to take away. I see that I have an x on this side. I also have an x on this side, so I'm going to take away, take away, take away, away, take away, take away, take away, away, take away, take away, take away, away, take away, away. And I'm left with x plus 6 is equal to 8. And so now I know that 6 also goes into 8, so I'm going to take away, take away, take away, away, take away, take away, take away, away, take away, take away, take away, away, take away, away. And I am left with x is equal to 2. So now my step that I know what x is equal to 2, I'm going to go put it back. So I've got to put it back, way back, put it back, way back. And so actually, what this 2 means, I'm going to put it back exactly as the distributive property would say. What this 2 means is I'm going to do whatever's in these parentheses this many number of times. That's why we use it as multiplication. So I have x plus 3